My phone thinks it's 7:30. Are y'all ready to do it?
Yes.
Hey, Jay, are you back? Well, Jay had household duties, so I guess we'll kick it off. This is K5LYN. Anybody need this frequency for any kind of emergency use before we talk vintage radio? I guess not. All right. We get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. A lot of us are on vintage radios, and buy-sell trades are appropriate if they're vintage radio related. If you're out there on a modern radio and you have some vintage radios you want to sell, please jump in here and list them. I would like for this to be more a trading place for vintage radios, and you don't have to be on a vintage radio to talk here anyway. If you're interested in what we're doing, check in and say hello. This is a great place for technical advice about a radio that you're working on. And a lot of us have been down that road before and might be able to lend a hand in terms of what you might do to get the thing running. So we got 1, 2, 3 net controls as usual. Sometimes KL7CD takes some check-ins, and we'll throw it Mike's way if he's interested. I'll pick up some earlies here. Let me talk first about the radio I'm on tonight. This is K5LYN. My name is Lynn. I'm in Austin. And way back in the 1940s, there were people trying to figure out how to put a single sideband signal onto the ham bands. Back in those days, it was all CW and amplitude modulation. And there were a few homebrew rigs the guys were building in their shacks in the late 40s, but you couldn't go to a store and buy one until 1951, when Wes Shum in Chicago, in the basement of his house, put together a little radio he called the Central Electronics 10A, a phasing type exciter that puts out 5 watts, maybe 8 watts at best, something like that. And Wes sold that to his friends out of his garage and out of his basement. And later on, it actually showed up in some stores. But this is the beginning of Central Electronics and single sideband on the amateur radio frequencies. And I like to say this radio went on the air when General Eisenhower was thinking about being president someday. The year was 1951. So let's talk about the earlies here. WB1E, Doug, talk to us, K5LYN.
Whoa, okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Doug, WB1E, over here in Bryan, and I'm talking to you tonight off of a inverted V up at about 80 feet. And tonight it's a Swan 500, like every other night. Very reliable radio. All I've done is change the first microphone amplifier from the, or whatever came with the Swan to a Mullard. Collector's 12X7, if you will. So, a little help with Henry doing 1.48 kWPEP. So, there you go. That's a little help with the lightning crashes. So, moving on back to you, Lynn. Can't wait to hear the net tonight. This is WB1E, back to net.
As usual, Doug, beautiful audio and one of the strongest signals on the band. You can't get any better than that. Nice work on the Swan. Okay, my neighbor, TXW. George, bring us up to date. Over to you, K5LYN.
Hello, everybody all around the net from WB5TXW for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. So I'm on the S-line 32S175S3. No amplifier. It's popping fuses, but everything else is working, at least. So that's pretty much it. Seems like the band is down a little bit, like lack of propagation. And that's all I've got, Lynn. I'll be ready Saturday morning. We'll hear each other on the repeater, WB5TXW. Back to net.
Collins is sounding great, George. And for anybody that wants to join us, we usually have a group from 2 to 6 people at El Nuevo, Mexico. Lamar, North Lamar, and Anderson Lane, 8 o'clock, which is when they open the doors, Saturday mornings. Anybody's invited, come on over. All right, let me talk to KE5ZS. Hey, Danny, you still over there somewhere? K5LYN.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Lynn, and everybody on the net. This is Kilowatt Echo 5 Zulu Sierra. Name's Danny. I'm right outside of San Antonio. And I am on a Kenwood TS830S as usual. And an inverted V is probably about 50 feet right now. And this will be the last time y'all hear me on this radio because it's going to WB5 OZZ next week. So I really enjoyed the net, really enjoyed listening to 73s, and thank y'all for doing the net. Kilowatt Echo 5, Zulu Sierra.
Oh, when that radio goes out the door, what radio we're going to hear you on?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, let's have a plan here. And while I got you, I looked up your QRZ.com, and I have some curiosity about the town you live in. And it goes back to things my 7th grade social studies teacher taught me about the 7 cities of gold. How do you pronounce the name of that town?
Well, Cibolo, or I used to live in Lavernia, but now I'm in Cibolo.
Okay, yeah. That was one of the famous towns during the Spanish period in Texas, and it's been pronounced a number of ways. Cibolo might be a little bit more correct in terms of the Spanish, but that's about the bottom line there. All right, Danny, great to hear you. Anything else for the net tonight?
No, sir. Thank you for doing it.
All right, let's see. Tom on the Central Electronics, the other guy here with Central Electronics. Tom, you hearing my 1A down there? How about KC5L? What do you say, Tom? K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and the boat anchor set. This is Tom, KC5L. Your 10A is sounding great here in San Antonio, and unfortunately, I'm not on the 200B, Central Electronics 200B tonight. It's developed an audio problem. If I put it in CW and hit the switch, I get full power, but I've got no audio, so I've got to troubleshoot that. So I'm on the modern rig right now. And that's about all I have, Lynn. So back to you, KC5L.
Okay, well, I suggest you get in touch with Dick. He will tell you a number of things you can try to troubleshoot that, but I always found the 100B and 200B over my head, and I had to take mine back to Nick. In fact, I traded mine for the 20A, which was more on my intellectual level, you know. Good luck with that, and keep us posted, okay?
Roger, Roger. Yeah, I've already opened it up. I don't see any tubes that aren't lit, so it's not going to be super simple. But hopefully we'll figure it out. So back to you, Lynn, and the net, KC5L.
Yeah, the 100B and 200B are masterpieces designed by and for intelligent people, and I didn't quite make the grade, so good luck with that. All right, moving on. N5OJB, talk to us, Denver, K5LYN.
Okay, this is Denver, N5OJB. I'm in Gonzales, Texas, about 62 miles south of Austin. I'm talking to you on a 32S1 and listening to you on a 75S1 tonight. I also have the station monitor up here, and Lynn, I'll tell you what I done. I took a black magic marker and I wrote on the face of this thing so that I could remember what it was. It's a 312 D4 station monitor. They're all winged emblems. And I'm driving an NCL 2000 amplifier into a fan dipole with the apex at about 30 foot in the air. Love the radios, wouldn't take for them. If anybody ever thinks about buying anything from Dan in Houston, jump on it because he will tell you the truth. Back to you, Lynn, from N5OJB.
Very nicely done, Denver. It sounded great, and as part of an estate, I acquired the National NCX3 transceiver, which I've been working on this week. It's kind of a disaster. I may or may not succeed in joining you with some national equipment on the air one of these days here soon, so we will be in touch about that. Great to hear you, Denver. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, not for me, and I will one of these days own another piece of national. I'm going to either own an NCX3 or an NCX5.
My recommendation is go with the NCX3. The 5, a lot of us have had trouble making them transmit and receive on the same frequency. Luck is better with the NCX3. I'll keep you posted on mine. All right, moving on down the list. Hey, Ralph, N5 BTM. Bring us up to date. K5LYN.
Yeah, K5LYN and that, N5 BTM, Ralph in Spring. And kind of a replay of what we've been running here lately. Tonight it's the Kenwood TS520 MC50 microphone, and the amplifier is a homebrew 4813s and grounded grid running about 800 watts out. And the antenna is a 75/45 meter inverted V fed with a single run of RG8. And I guess the apex is up probably close to 40 foot in a pine tree out in the backyard. And all that's going through a Drake MN2700 tuner. So, back to you there, Lynn. Good signals all the way around so far. N5 BTM.
Okay, Ralph, about that amplifier. You know, I remember from many years ago when you sent me pictures of that, and I was amazed at how beautiful it was. You might think about sending that to Electric Radio Magazine, because it might remind a lot of people what neat stuff can be done with some 813s, over.
Yeah, you took a little fade there. Send it to what now?
Yeah, you took a fade too. That was kind of weird. Yeah, I was suggesting send some pictures to Electric Radio Magazine about your 813 amplifier. It might inspire some people to do something similar.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Okay, that's the thought.
Yeah, very nice work on your part. All right, great to hear you, Ralph. And yeah, I noticed the band took a dip all of a sudden too. I wondered what that was about. All right, let's see if I can hear Dan in Houston. How about it, Dan? WOZ, talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, and everybody else. I don't know if you can hear me. I hear you fine that time, but never know with this band in the summertime. This is Dan, KWZ, Houston, Texas. I'm talking on a Kenwood TS530SP. The microphone's a Shure 444D. The amplifier is a 3813 homebrew, about 1,000 watts, and that is cranking up all the way. And the antenna is a 2-band bazooka up there, about 38 feet. I had a quick question for Ralph there. He said his antenna was a 75/45. I think he said inverted V. I just wonder if that's a trap antenna or what's the 45 part of that?
No, I think you need, we'll check the recording. I think I said, I was trying to say 75/40 meter. Maybe it didn't come out that way. Anyway, you know what you heard, and I know what I said. Over.
Oh, okay. Is that a trap antenna?
No, this is all wire, man. About 120 feet on the 75 meter end of it, and about 60-something feet, 66 feet, in total on the 40 meter side.
Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't know it was two antennas and one with single feed line.
Roger, Roger. Yep. So, no traps.
Okay.
In fact, I did the unthinkable, if you'll excuse it just for a second. I took that old antenna that I've had since 1976 and had a goodbye ceremony for it, and it's trucking to a landfill now.
Do you know what landfill it went to?
Oh, me. I give up.
Sorry, Liz.
Hey, Ralph, the band is so bad, I'm about to lose Dan. Did y'all wrap that up?
Roger, Roger.
Okay, yeah, this is weird. I think we got something solar going on. Okay, let's see if Hubert and I can still hear each other. KC5NPC, how about it, Hubert?
I can hear you just fine, Lynn. You can hear me okay?
Yes, sir, just fine.
Okay, I'm on the TS830S, about 120 watts. The Dentrop 3008 tuner out to the off-center bed dipole MC50 microphone. Says Trio on it. It's an old-timer. Anyway, I'd like to go ahead and list this ICOM 7700. I understand they don't make them anymore, so I guess that makes it of interest. with my email. I'd like people to make an offer on this thing. Still don't have an offer. Asking $2,500 or best offer, and nobody's popped off. So I call $7,700 up for grabs here, folks, and some accessories to go with it. So give me an email, and if anybody has an 8-strand rotor cable about 75 foot that they don't need, our local hemp club in San Angelo needs a 75-foot rotor cable. So if anybody has that, let me know, and I'll maybe we can get it over here to them. KC5 NPC, back to you, Lynn.
All right, fine, Hubert. I'm sure everybody got that, so I won't report it. KC5 NPC, Hubert. Okay, let's see if I can still hear W5DLP. How about it, Dave? You still there? K5LYN.
Yes, sir, I am. Well, thank you for giving me a call. Whiskey 5 Delta Lima Papa. There's nothing vintage about an ICOM 7610. So, like I say, I enjoy just listening to the group, and you know, I do have it up to an inverted V about 50 feet up in the air, and running an Ameritron AL80B. Nothing old except me operating the station. Over.
Well, I'll tell you what, that applies to all of us, I think, Dave. And we always say anybody that's interested in what we're doing here is totally welcome, so you're in the right place.
Roger, Rod. Rusty has always told me that, but once I get started listening, I just usually do not check in, but I did tonight, and like I say, I want to update you on Rusty. I may give him a call here in a few minutes just to make sure he didn't stick his finger in something and get lit up.
Yeah, right. Well, we all hope that. All right, Dave, yeah, we'll come by any time. We may get you on a Vintage Radio one of these days, so don't rule it out. Do we see you at Belton?
You will this year. Yes, sir. I will indeed this year. I probably would have last year, except if things turned out the way they did. So anyway, hope to meet a bunch of you then.
Yeah, things are going to be better this fall, we hope. All right. Let's see if Jay is back. Hey, Jay, are you there? Well, all right, then the default indicates that we need to talk to KL7CD and see if Mike wants to make some check-ins here. What do you think, Mike? K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn, I'll do my best. You copy me okay?
Great signal, beautiful audio.
Okay, thanks so much. Well, tonight I'll just tell you about my rig first, and then give you a little report on my HT37 work I've been doing. Rig tonight is the old Hallicrafters Twins, SX117 receiver, HT44 transmitter, matching speaker and power supply for the transmitter. And that runs up to my SB220 heat kit amplifier. And from that I go to my Johnson Viking kilowatt tuner. And from the tuner I go via ladder line to a dipole cut for, pretty close to this frequency, up about 30 feet. And the microphone tonight is a D104. Well, anyway, a quick report on my HT37. I picked that up from Kilo Charlie 5 Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, Jimmy, in Cedar Park, Texas. And I've just been playing with it off and on. When I got it, the first thing, of course, I did was take the cover and the bottom cover off and see what I had going down there. And I don't know who did it, but somebody replaced all the caps, all the paper caps and all the electrolytic caps. And judging from the solder work he did at those junction points, he knew what he was doing. So anyway, then I put it on a Variac. A lot of people don't know to do this, but I put in line with a Variac, I put a big light bulb. And if you turn it on and you get a lot of light from it, then you got some kind of problem. You need to shut it back off. Before I did that, it had the original rectifier tubes 5R4, I believe it was, the big high voltage rectifier, and then a 5V for Victor 4 for the lower voltage. So I pulled those out, and I solid stated that power supply with plug-in solid state modules, and I disconnected the 5-volt filament windings from the tube sockets. And then the other thing that was kind of weird is the low voltage rectifier on an HT37, and this applies to the HT32 family of transmitters as well. If you look at the schematic, the takeoff comes from pin 2 on the low voltage supply rectifier. On the high voltage, it's pin 8. And most of the plug-in rectifier modules, they exit with the rectified voltage to pin 8. So to get it to pin 2, so that I could get my low voltage source, I ran a diode from pin 8 to pin 2. And so the medium voltage is supposed to be 300 volts. And mine, with some addition of a resistor, came to 303. And my very low voltage was supposed to be 100. Turned out to be 149. So I thought that was pretty good. And the other problem is the bias voltage. You know, it's adjustable with a rheostat. And I couldn't get it down as low as it needed to be, so I had to do some work on that part of the circuit. And since it's designed for 117 volts, the bias voltage is supposed to be minus 49. And my voltage here is 122.5. So I needed to get it up to a minus voltage of 51, and I couldn't get anywhere close. So I did a little work on that with some resistors and the voltage divider, and got it to where I could go down to about minus 44, 45, and on up to about minus 60. So I could settle it in on minus 51 real well. Anyway, that's the report on the where I was at that point. I couldn't get much output on 80, but I get great output, 100 watts on 40, 15, 20, and 10. Only one crystal on 10. So unfortunately, the HT37, if you want to change to a different section of the 10-meter band, you have to change the crystals. Whereas the HT32B and that whole family of transmitters, they have 4 sockets. So if you want to operate all 4 segments of the 10-meter band, you just plug in the other 3 crystals that, of course, you have to buy separately. Anyway, I'm working on the 80-meter section of it. I'm pretty sure I've narrowed it down to the band switch, because I get, perfect operation on 40 and up, and it's not so good on 80. The carrier suppression works real good. Those 2 knobs are on the front of the transmitter, and all that seems to work good. So anyway, that's a report. And since Jay's not in here, I hear somebody else talking on frequency. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's the AM stations out in California. Anyway, this is KL7 Charlie Delta. My name is Mike. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas. You stumbled onto the Boat Anchors Unlimited net, and we're here every Wednesday night starting at 7:30 at 3870. So I'm going to take check-ins, and you guys spread them out and take it slow, so I can write these things down. Any check-ins now, KL7CD. Maybe I talked too long.
Well, no, you talk great. And I can hear that talking in the background. I think the band has gotten real weird, Mike. I don't know what to make of it, but no, you made a great transmission. You got a beautiful signal. Somebody's out there must be hearing us. Keep trying.
I hear you fine here, Mike. I'll check in. Hello, everybody from W5OMR Mobile.
Okay, I hear Jeff, OMR. Did you hear him, Mike?
Oh, yeah, solid. W5OMR Mobile, KL7 Charlie Delta. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Mike, and it was good to hear you on the 3916 net the other night. KL7CD and K5LYN and all the boat anchors from Whiskey 5 Oscar Mike Romeo. I was wondering who that was talking in the background, but maybe it is the band that's going along. We're Mobile. I'm northbound on the back roads in between Highway 59 and Interstate 45. So I'll be headed northbound on 45. That's for Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll drop this off in the morning. And I'm talking tonight on my Kenwood TS2000 with the Worthmore 2-transistor amplifier. Of course, they got boat anchors there. I know that Worthmore goes there around a while. But the only boat anchor I got is the old Buckhead. And it's got a 9.5-foot horizontal radiator on it. And, with a longer radiator and being horizontal, it doesn't interact with anything that's sticking up the ground. And it's supposed to minimize mobile flutter, but, when you get into the thicket of things, like I am out here in East Texas, who knows what the signal does. That's just about it. That's all I got. Good to hear everybody. One of these days I want to put my AM rig back on the air, but then again I keep looking at my electric bill and I wonder why. I'll have to wait until winter time to get that done. KL7CD with K5LYN, all the rest of the morning, 35 on Automobile.
Okay, W5OMR, solid copy. You're an S9 here, and my noise level's about an S6, so it was solid copy. What's your name, sir?
My name is Jeff, Georgia, England, Ontario, France, GEOFF, sound like JEFF is something the proper way, over.
Okay, I got you. So it's like a Jeffrey, and sometimes they go Jeff, and you never know if it's a G or it's a J or whatever. I always thought Jeff was JEFF, but it goes around, and you never know what it's going to be. Okay, thanks for checking in. Anything else for the net?
Yeah, well, don't tell Jeffrey Johnson that his name is supposed to be spelled with a J. His name for over.
Okay, all right. Anything else for us?
No, that's it, Mike, and I appreciate it. And Lynn remembers my old homebrew rig. They run the pair of this contract by another pair, over.
Okay, that sounds great. I look forward to hearing you when you come back in with the boat anchor, and if you don't have one, just come back in anyway, QSL.
Well, I got my Johnson Blackman 2 at the house, and I ran it into, on AM, into the Drake L7 amplifier, and in order to do that, I just kicked in the 160-inch capacitor and re-dipped the final, and cranked the load up, got about 15, 20 watts out of that. Use that to drive the 3500. And it got about 245 watts of carrier out, Michael.
Yeah, Roger. I got a Viking 2 here as well. No, what I ran, I don't want to get into a big long deal here, but I ran a Harvey Wells DBS 50D into Gonset ESP 201. And I could get about 375 watts of, no, not that much, about 275 watts of carrier. And it works really good on AM. One of these days, I'm going to put my old AM station on this frequency. I've got a digital readout now that goes in the feed line out to the antenna. So if I get right on frequency, in fact, this happened the other night. I forgot to change it. I tune up on AM. And I forgot to change it to lower sideband. They were telling me my signal was really way down from what it usually is, but they never said a word about me being on AM or having any kind of carrier. Anyway, okay, anything else there, Jeff? Okay, Jeff, thanks so much. You're starting to fade down, so the band is definitely changing. Okay, this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited. Any other check-ins now? Spread them out and come slowly.
KE5ARQ.
KE5ARQ, go ahead.
Hey everybody, this is James over in Floresville. Nothing different over here. Running a Kenwood TS830S, inverted V, 40 feet, Shure 444 mic, and got a TL922A, probably about 1,000 watts, and that is about it.
Okay, man, you're 20 to 25 over here at my QTH. Really strong signal and good audio. Anything else?
No, that's it. You're about 10 over. You sound good over here, and that is about it. And hope everybody has a good rest of the week. KE5ARQ back to net.
Okay, KE5ARQ, I'll separate from you, and KL7 Charlie Delta on this end. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas. This is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Anybody wants to check in now, boat anchor or not, come now. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net?
Jeff is like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He will be back.
Okay, I'm looking for new check-ins. KL7 Charlie Delta with the Boat Anchors. Well, Lynn, I don't know what to do now. I don't know if Rusty's back or Jay's back. I'll just flip it back to you and let you take control.
I'm here, Mike.
Okay, Rusty, good deal. Okay, Rusty, take it over. We've worked a few. We need a lot of help.
Yeah. And Rusty, the band is weird tonight. Good luck, K5LYN.
I noticed. Okay, good evening, Lynn and Mike. And Jay, AWOL there. Maybe we'll still back up a little bit. Anyway, this is WK5R. I'm going to use the stuff tonight, the modern stuff. This is the Kingwood PS590S. The Audio Technica microphone driving a GS35B amplifier into the homebrew fan dipole at 50 feet. And we're running about 1,300 watts. So anyway, I almost made it on here with a set of great twins. The R4A and the T4X. Not a B, not an A, but plain T4X. The receiver worked, but the transmitter didn't come on. It would switch the power supply on, but I got a buzz, but I didn't get any lights or didn't get any, look like any filament, so I don't think I've got filament bolts, because I think the lights are running up. I think they're 5-volt lights. I think they're running off the filament winding, so I've got to check that out, but that's along my line of expertise there in that power supply. So I'm going to go ahead. I already had a board made up for one of those AC4s that's in the speaker. So I'll take and go ahead and rebuild that power supply and then see where I'm at there. I'd hopefully get it on there tonight, but didn't quite get it on today, W5DLP. That's why he was laughing while I was sticking my finger where it don't belong. Hi. But anyway, with that, I'll go ahead and take some check-ins there. I do have one that I think y'all didn't call. It could be UOZ. Are you there, Perry?
You copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Perry.
Yeah, okay, the band's for the like Wednesday, the band is crazy. Right now I'm hearing you guys, all you guys, and then you guys take a fade, and I start hearing the guys out of California. There's two conversations going on all through the whole world. Anyway, I'm on a different radio. I'm not on a green box tonight. I went to a little contest last Sunday, and I brought home a GS 520. We all say, well, yeah, they're 520s, and they made a money in these things, but this one is the second nicest 520 I have seen in 20 or 30 years. It is absolutely mid-quality inside and out. It had all the electronics, rival steps that in place. But it is slick. And anyway, it's just working like a hose. All the band knobs and the mode switch and all the switches are really tight and together, and and the mic gain and all that just works real well. I am so tickled. Anyway, we're running here on a MC50 microphone that's in it, and with the band in the way it is, I've got the EL82 on, and I'm running right up against the helmet. going up the East 2060 tuna, and then 460 off later line, that's 170 great state tuna wire on the antenna. So that's kind of anyway, oh yeah, I got the 3,500 good rate. Anyway, we'll get everybody on the page. All right,
Okay, Barry, the Kenwood sounds fine there. You might turn your mic down because you're a little bit hot. Other than that, you were a little bit up frequency. Now, I could be off myself. But anyway, from where I was at, you were up, instead of 3870, 3870.050 is where I went to get you right. I'm going to go back down to the other one here shortly. But anyway, appreciate you checking in there. All righty, let's see here. Let me go back down here. There we go. Back on 3870.00. And who else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
WB50 is this good.
Okay, go ahead, Marty.
Appreciate it. This is Marty, N5K, BT. I'm Longview, Texas. I'm on my FT102 right now with the MD1 Dutch microphone. Driving my little AO811, about 600 watts, all she would do, is my 200-foot Skywire. And that's about it. It's just hot and humid. And this may be the last time I use the 102. I think I've got someone that wants to take it off my hands, and I'm willing to do that for the right price. Anyway, that's it. So back to you, Rusty. It's N5 KBP.
Okay, Marty, the Yaesu FT102. I think that's what it is there. Sounds fine. All right. Who else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
WB50 is this.
Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, this is WE50 is as that. Running old 520 SV200 and antenna about 50 feet in the air over.
Roger. Sounds good there. As usual there. Anything else, Don?
That's about it. Just always looking for something.
Okay. Appreciate you checking in there. All right. Who else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Okay, go ahead, Perry. Yes, you sure did.
And I backed the mic down somehow. How am I doing?
That's a whole lot better.
All right. Thanks, guys. I apologize. My old Chicky Band Dave keeps coming out, and I want to stand on a table and scream in the mic. Okay, you're right on, KB Bill. You own that.
Okay, Perry. Catch you later. All right, who else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. How about Kurt up in the Reston? GDK, are you there? No, band is weird, so, back to you, Len, if you can still hear me. K5LYN, WK5R.
Well, let's see if I'm still on the air. What do you make of it, Rusty? K5LYN.
I'd say go with it. Sounds good to me.
Okay, well, you know, usually I put on two different radios, but tonight I decided maybe not, because the conditions still seem really weird to me. I could hear somebody talking most of the time you were talking, and I can't believe here in the middle of the summer we're hearing the West Coast guys, but maybe we are. But nobody's as strong as they ought to be. Mike in New Braunfels had a great signal, and I'm hearing you pretty well. We haven't heard Jay. Jay had some family things going on. We'll see if he's back. But I don't know what to make of the conditions tonight. It's kind of weird. So I'm staying on the Central Electronics 10A here, which drives a one-tube amplifier, which then drives the L4B. So, yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge of things. Let's see if Jay is back. Hey, Jay, KM5QS, are you here? K5LYN. Well, okay, Jay's tied up. Okay, well, let's see if there's anybody else hearing me that would like to talk boat anchors tonight. This is K5LYN listing. Recheck, go ahead.
Hey, Lynn, K5LYN, KC5L. How's my audio now? Over?
It sounds okay to me.
Roger. Well, something happened to my D104. I'm now back on the Central Electronics 200B, and I pulled out my old Electro Voice 664 microphone, and lo and behold, audio's working. So we're driving the usual 600L amplifier, doing about 300 watts TEP into a Johnson KW Matchbox, and a doublet up about 15 feet or so. So looks like I figured out where to start looking here. So back to you, Lane, KT5L.
Okay, Tom. Well, the D104s are failing one by one. Most of the time, they get to where they're real crisp. They don't have any lows in them, you know. Like one time when I was on AM with my D104, and WA5 CMI said, hey, halfway through your transmission, it sounded like you were fixing to start singing Winchester Cathedral, you know, and the microphone never worked after that. So I'm glad it wasn't the Central Electronics. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, yeah, I guess the old crystal finally crumbled in the dust there or something. I'm going to have to hunt down one of, maybe put a ceramic element in there or something like that. What do you think?
I've never found a good replacement. I got one of the elements from Bob Heil with his transformer that's supposed to make his low impedance element work in the circuit, and I haven't been able to, you know, I can't make it work right. So most of us have gone to Shure 444s.
Okay, well, I'll maybe take that into consideration. And who knows, maybe it's not the crystal, maybe it's something else. I'll need to dig into the microphone and poke around a little bit.
Good luck with it. I'll tell you, it's a nightmare when you start taking it apart and try to get that push-to-talk stuff to work right. It can also be that those contacts in the push-to-talk are not making good connection, and to bypass them is a pain in the butt, but I did it with two of them, and don't drop any screws. Anything else on your end, Tom?
No, that's about it. Only other thing I might mention, with the D104, earlier this evening, I looked at it. There is a very slight amount of audio that I can see on the band scope, but not enough to cause any deflection on the power meter. So, I don't know. Maybe it's not the maybe it is the crystal and not the contact.
Well, yeah, for no logical reason, the audio goes through the push-to-talk contacts. And if you take it all apart, you can bypass that and make the audio go straight into your mic cord instead of having to go through those push-to-talk contacts. So don't rule that possibility out. But I'll tell you what, you may want to send me an email about what I went through to get it done, because it's kind of tricky. Over.
I've taken them apart before, and yeah, they are kind of tricky to work on.
Okay, you've been down that road. All right. Keep us posted, Tom. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, that's it. Back to you, KT5L.
Comment,
go ahead.
Yeah, Lynn, I was going to say, do you still have that microphone and that Heil element in the transformer?
I have one of them. I installed one in a... I have two. And I installed one of them in a microphone, which I'm not happy with the results, and the other one is still in a box.
I was going to say, if you couldn't get it to work, I've done one before, and it worked fine. I had a couple of Shure 444s up there, and one of them had a bad element in it, and I put one of those elements in there, and it worked out real good.
Okay, next time, Rusty, or one of these evenings, I'll put it on and let you listen to it. Maybe you can tell me what I did wrong. Bob talks about how you've got to mount the element just right with the, an echo chamber or something like that behind it and stuff like that. I might not have gotten that right.
Yeah, it usually comes with that little piece that you set it inside, and you gotta space it on the back so that you can't put stuff right up against it. You gotta space it a little bit.
Okay, I'll consult with you further. I've got some other projects in the works, Rusty, but thanks for your thoughts, and we'll be in touch.
Roger, carry on.
Okay, let's see if anybody else wants to talk boat anchors to me. This is K5LYN on the Central Electronics 10A listening.
WA5EDX.
Hey, Mr. Byron, you got a great signal. Talk to us.
Well, I'm surprised because the band is flaky tonight. I'll agree with you there. No traffic tonight. Just checking in for the count, so to speak. Hi. And was too lazy to get a boat anchor tuned up on the net tonight, so I'm checking in on a Kenwood, though. Kenwood 430S that was here already hooked up. And just trying to get some of the operating table cleaned up while I listen to everybody. The folks I can hear anyway. So it's been another hot one today here. I made the ham lunch over in Acton next to Granbury. We had 8 of us show up for a fine lunch, and we swapped a lot of lies, but no radios. Ha. So back to net. I appreciate everybody calling the net, and I do hear there's a little bit of lower humidity coming in the next couple days, and maybe some lower temperatures early next week. So as long as that tropical depression doesn't come through central Texas and drown us all, right? Back to you, Lynn. K5LYN, WA5EDX.
Okay, fine, Byron. Beautiful signal into Austin, absolutely. And, yeah, the band is weird. I don't know what to make of it here tonight. Kind of odd for a summer evening here. All right. Yeah, we haven't heard the rest of your crew. Haven't heard Jim and them, but we'll keep listening, but great to hear you. All right. Who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN, listening? Let's see if Jay made it back. KM5QS. Jay, are you there? Well, we might have covered the territory. I heard a voice in there, but I don't know if it was somebody trying to call me or not. Let me just see if anybody else wants to talk to me about boat anchors. Failing that, I'll pass it around to Mike and then to Rusty, and we will maybe call it a night from there if we don't have some more check-ins. Anybody else for me for the boat anchors? K5LYN, listening? Hey, Mike, you want to give it a try? KL7CD, over to you.
Yeah, it just takes a few minutes. You know, if you get no responses, you just pass it on. So I'll give it my best. Okay, everybody, it's the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. We're all on Boat Anchors. If we're not on Boat Anchors, which a few haven't been, we're welcome as well. And if you are interested in what we do or what we're about, or just listening to these wonderful old rigs and how they sound on single sideband, you need to come in here and check in. Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Somebody come in and check in now.
K5LRX.
K5LRX. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I don't have much with respect to spiffy stuff. I just did hear a friend of mine, WD5JKO, Jim, told me that the ABC tubes, which, you know, had been around for a long time, the fellow that owned it went silent key, and his relatives, apparently I guess his kin, didn't want to continue the business, so they took 1 million electron tubes to the dump. So there's the you-know-what story for the day. Can you imagine taking 1 million of those precious electron tubes and throwing them in some landfill somewhere? Anyhow, this is K5LRX, and we'll look forward to better times.
Hey, Jack, who was that died?
That was the guy who ran ABC tubes, Alpha Bravo Charlie tubes. And he apparently, there was some deal with taxes or God knows what, but his kin took that as the opening to send 1 million tubes to a landfill.
Okay.
You know, I guess it was Ralph that's what reminded me. Ralph had said he was going to send his whole wire antenna to the landfill. It just reminded me of that story. You talk about making your heart sick.
Okay, that's not a local guy, right?
No, I just don't know where the heck he was. Some, you know, one of the folks that are on the net probably do, but you know, it's just one of those things. You talk about it and you get a lump in your throat to lose 1 million tubes and a tax issue.
I'm sorry to hear about that, but we're not running out of tubes. I got a garage full. Okay, back to you, Mike, KL7CD.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. K5LRX, Jack. Can you tell me what you're running tonight? I assume it's a modern rig, and where you're located.
Oh, you know, it's an LK550 amp supply linear. It's 3-500Zs. I'm located in Austin, overlooking the Kodosky's monstrosity up there on the hill. So when you look out west, you're seeing my house. And let's see, the rig's a pair of 599s that I bought from Jay, and he did a great job getting them to work, and I haven't screwed them up yet. So that's that. It's nothing exotic. The tuner's a Palstar AT2K. There's an AT5K out in the garage, but the AT2K is actually in direct mode for 3870. To get down on the bottom end of 75, you need a tuner, but it works just in direct mode fine for 3870. Antenna is a dual band double bazooka. You hear a lot about them. You know, they're a good out of the box antenna. They're all too long. They fold back about 32 inches, but they do a great job. I still can't believe it. That huge ice storm we had. We lost a huge branch off an oak tree. That the branch probably was 3 inches in diameter. Huge, big thing. Was hanging on that dual band double bazooka, and there's that poor antenna. I'm sure it was holding its breath, but it was supporting that big, huge oak branch. I finally just sawed that branch up piece by piece and pulled it away, and that antenna popped right back into place, and that's what you're listening to. So a thumbs up on the dual band double bazooka, K5LRX.
Okay. All right, Jack, K5LRX there in Austin, KL7 Charlie Delta. Well, yeah, I've heard, a number of those 80-40 combination bazookas, and they always sound good. So I figure, it's a pretty good antenna, especially since it runs 2 bands. And sounds like it's pretty sturdy, too. Anything else for the net tonight, Jack?
Nope, I sure do appreciate you being there, and fun to listen to the old rigs.
Okay, well, that Kenwood pair you've got there sounds great, and you've got a big potent signal. You're 20 over here in New Braunfels, Texas. Okay, this is KL7 Charlie Delta. I'm in New Braunfels. My name is Mike. This is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Anybody wants to check in, we're taking boat anchor check-ins as well as modern rig check-ins. Come now. I don't know what that was. I'll give it one more try. Anybody for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
I think somebody doesn't know that his radio's not right, Mike.
I mean, it's not even a solid tone.
Yeah, whoever's trying to check in, all we hear is a tone. Yep, just a tone. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Okay, Rusty, I've run my string here, so I'll turn it over to you and see if you can pick up a few more before you close out the net.
Okay, Mike. Thank you there. That's it. That's the K5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Is there anybody else left out there that has not checked in? Come now.
It's just a squeal is all we're hearing from that guy. It's still fine, but it's just that radio is not working.
Horizon. Yeah, we know that, Jeff. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited come now?
I know you know that. He doesn't know that. That's what I'm trying to get across.
Okay, there was a Kilo Echo Zero Yankee Mike Sierra. Is that right?
Yankee Mike Zulu.
Oh, Yankee Mike Zulu. Okay, go ahead. Kilo Echo Zero, Yankee Mike Zulu. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the not certain. The conditions are horrible tonight. I have going on at the same time on this frequency. I know that everyone's experiencing this, but just wanted to check in and say hello. The name is David. I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Utilizing a Cheers 520 tonight, going into a 3001 amplifier running 411A. Producing about 600 watts and going through MT3008 Zentron center and out the window 20 going up the cycle about 30 feet. And that's the thing tonight. I'm diligently working on some other boat anchors, but they just haven't come to me yet. But hopefully soon. And hopefully soon the conditions get a little bit better. Conditions were great last night. I was hoping for the same tonight, but no such luck. But anyway, I'll do 70 degrees. Great night. And thanks for listening in. Kilo Echo 0. Yes, you might do it.
Okay, David. Yeah, the Kenwood sounds good from Springfield there. We'll catch you later. You're right. The band is really screwed up. So I'm gonna put out one more call. If there's nobody there, I'm gonna go ahead and close it. So anybody else out there before I close the net, come now.
5SQG. The name is Bob.
Okay, Bob, stand by. Who was the contact?
Yeah, it's Terry, KBW. Obviously wanted to contact my neighbor here in Springfield, KU0YMK Delaware.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to contact him?
Yeah, okay, Rusty, you guys double. Yeah, I just want to throw in there, I'm up here on Stockton Lake, about 45 miles northwest of you, and you're 40 over up here, sounding good, that's all I got to say. Rusty, thanks for getting me back in there, and we'll throw it back to that KBW, okay.
Okay, appreciate it. Okay, the station said his name was Bob, go ahead.
Number 2 on the net's name here is Bob. My call sign is KB5SQG. Running a Kenwood TS820 F for the meter display. I am the one that was squealing. I apologize to everybody that listened to that route. The squeal, the mic gain was too high. So otherwise, I hope I'm sounding okay. You can back connect control. KB5SQG.
Okay, Bob, can you repeat the location and the rig you're on? I had another station transmitting at the same time. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. KB5SQG on a Kenwood TS820 Alpha. That's the one that's got the digital display. Using 100 watts output. Using a off-center OCS, off-center dipole antenna. Off-center fed antenna, I should say. And I was the one that was squealing earlier. And I apologize to you all. My mic gain was up too high. And I'm from Granbury, Texas. I say gay. Granbury, Texas.
Okay, got you over there in Granbury, Texas on the Kenwood. I appreciate you checking in. All right, you got her going now. Okay, anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net before I close it? I hear nobody, and it's just the band is so wishy-washy. I'm going to go ahead and close it. This is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Now, closing the net and return the frequency to normal amateur abuse, which we ain't already beat it up.